Hi. Official recaps here. Today, I'm going to explain a film called Mortal Engines. Before getting to the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like to support the channel. The film's premise is set in the far future. At the beginning of the film, a voice tells us about the 60-minute war, the most catastrophic war in human history. A 60-minute war that split the Earth's crust into 1,000 pieces, rearranging the former continents. The few remaining people built movable cities known as traction cities, which can move on wheels when necessary. As more such communities sprang up, a system known as municipal Darwinism took shape. According to municipal Darwinism, larger cities, known as predators, can hunt smaller cities and take over their resources for survival. Towards the start of the film, a girl with her face hidden behind a scarf looks out her telescope towards the mountains. When she sees the big city of London approaching, she flees to her hometown of Saltzhocken. London, a giant predator city, is attacking Saltzhocken. When the officials learn that London is nearing them, everyone in town panics. The engines fire up, and the town turns into a vehicle ready to take off in seconds. London closes in on Saltzhocken as it attempts to flee. Many individuals in London love watching the race via a class barrier while rooting for their city to win. Magnus Krome is the name of London's Lord Mayor. He directs the operators on what actions to take. People from Saltzhocken try to flee but are eventually apprehended by Krome's command. The settlement is then consumed by the Predator City. Various infrastructures can be seen inside London. It has museums where minion statues are revered as American deities. People interpreted the aftermath of the 60-minute conflict in whatever way they wanted. Tom Natsworthy is a low-class London apprentice historian. He is employed at the London Museum. Catherine Valentine, the daughter of Deputy Lord Mayor Thaddeus Valentine, is waiting for Tom that day for a history lesson. Tom arrives late to assist Catherine, but unlike previous elites, she greets him with warmth and kindness. The two wander around the museum, admiring historic items such as smartphones and laptops. When Catherine expresses an interest in the 60th War, Tom shows her a film of the conflict that he was able to rescue from an old hard drive. Tom reveals that the Earth was broken into pieces as a result of a quantum energy weapon known as the Medusa being deployed to wage the battle. He then adds that the museum possesses many weapon technologies, but that bits and pieces of them have been going missing on a regular basis. Because his superiors did not listen to his concerns about the missing technology, he kept the guns in his personal locker to prevent theft. Herbert, Tom's senior, listens in on their talk from outside the room. He demotes Tom to a lower city level, but Catherine accompanies him. Meanwhile, the residents of Saltzhocken are being forced to evacuate their city, which will be demolished later. They are instructed to bring only their things and are not permitted to bring any weapons. The girl with the scarf, on the other hand, manages to smuggle in a knife. Tom and Catherine arrive at the lowest zone, where the citizens of Saltzhocken are being questioned. Their task is to collect new electronics from the Saltzhocken. Tom is captivated by the sight of a high-quality toaster. Valentine, Deputy Lord Mayor and Catherine's father, then compliments Tom on his technological knowledge. During their conversation, a worker comes a deadly outdated technology item used in nuclear bombs and hands it to Valentine. Tom is disturbed by Valentine's description of the weapon. Meanwhile, Valentine is approached by the girl with the scarf. As he speaks to the crowd, the girl stabs him, claiming it is for her mother, Pandora Shaw. Valentine is taken aback when he hears the name. Before the girl can attack again, Tom stops her and follows after her as she flees. Both finish up in Saltzhocken, which is currently being demolished. They make it past the demolisher and into the rubbish chute. The girl falls into the chute but is rescued by Tom, who notices a horrible scar on her face. She introduces herself as Hester Shaw and informs him that Valentine murdered her mother just before letting go of his hand. Hester then falls down the chute just as Valentine arrives. Tom inquires about Pandora Shaw and casts a suspicious glance at Valentine. Finally, Valentine throws Tom to the rubbish chute after Hester and seems to be unconcerned when his daughter comes. Catherine and Valentine are in his chamber later when she inquires about Pandora Shaw. He rejects her inquiry, but Catherine suspects he is concealing something from her. Meanwhile, Tom wakes up on the outskirts of an unfamiliar location and is robbed of his money by Hester. When he wakes up, she abandons him, but Tom follows her. She is enraged at Tom for destroying the idea she had been working on for 6 months. Tom begs her to assist him in returning to London, his home, but Hester ignores him and continues walking. Back in London, The Lord Mayor is upset at Valentine for transporting them to Europe, causing them to run out of food and water. Valentine mentions his energy proposal, claiming that it is the only thing that can save London, but the Lord Mayor is unconvinced. Hester and Tom are sleeping at night when they are ambushed by some scavengers from the south who seek people. An elderly couple arrives with their land roving vehicle to rescue them from the scavengers. They even provide the two with a small rest area. Hester was injured earlier while attempting to save Tom from the scavengers. She lies down and partially dresses her wound. She subsequently informs Tom that her mother, Pandora Shaw, was an archaeologist who loved to unearth ancient technology. She collaborated closely with Valentine, who was always enthralled by her discoveries. Until one day, Pandora unearthed something Valentine desired but she didn't want him to have. He killed Pandora that day, slicing Hester's face in the process. Hester also describes a pendant Pandora gave her before telling her to flee. As she finishes delivering the narrative, a single tear falls down her cheek. Following that, Valentine learns of a cyborg discovered in the oceans near a tiny town. When one of his comrades tells him that he will be useful in killing Hester, he goes to see the beast. The creature is imprisoned in a case and informs Valentine that Hester has breached a promise she made to him, and as a result, he wishes to murder her. Valentine lets the beast go after hearing this. Meanwhile, Hester is still sleeping in the old couple's car when Tom wakes her up. He claims that the vehicle has turned south, implying that the pair has lied to them. Tom finds a way out from beneath the floor, but Hester is unable to jump due to her injury. He refuses to accompany her, and both are apprehended. They are then held hostage and auctioned off as slaves in a community. Hester is almost purchased by a man until a girl who stands out from the throng claims her for herself. The auctioneer identifies the girl as Anna Fang, a wanted criminal and member of the Anti-Traction League. She is here to release Hester and works closely with Shan Guo's leader Quan. She murders the auctioneer with a single shot and orders Tom and Hester to flee. They don't get far before the cyborg from earlier who wanted to kill Hester appears. Shrike is recognized by Hester. Shrike approaches the two as they flee him. He almost gets them, but Anna saves them once more. Anna then takes them on her airship and tells Hester that she resembles her mother. Hester discloses how she knows Shrike after sensing the two's interest. He discovered her after Valentine killed Pandora and has become her parent ever since. Shrike reared her and assisted her in surviving in the outside world. He is the last surviving cyborg after his species was exterminated. Shrike became tired of seeing Hester upset all the time, so he created an exoskeleton with the purpose of transforming her into a cyborg as well. Hester promised him that she would carry out the plan, but she soon learned of Valentine's whereabouts. As a result, she fled, and Shrike pursued her in order to kill her for breaking the pledge. Tom is taken aback by the story. The two were subsequently transported to the Airhaven, an airborne city where they meet other members of the Anti-Traction League. Valentine's strange activities have been discovered, and they suspect Pandora is involved. As a result, they've enlisted the help of Hester to learn more about Valentine's scheme. Hester informs them about a box for which Valentine murdered her mother. As they discuss the box, Tom recalls the time a worker handed Valentine an obsolete technology from the Second World War. He finally realizes Valentine intends to reactivate Medusa, the weapon that destroyed the Earth many eons ago. He informs everyone that the package contained the computer core system used to launch the quantum energy weapon, Medusa. A crash drive, a form of key that overrides Medusa's firing sequence, is the only means to halt the weapon. Back in London, Tom's boss, Hebert, tells Valentine about the outdated technology Tom had buried. At the same time, Catherine takes Bevis to the museum but discovers that the devices have been taken. The lights go out in the Airhaven, and Shrike arrives looking for Hester. As the entire city catches fire, chaos erupts. Shrike chases Tom and Hester away, but he fights the Anti-Traction League members and eventually catches up with them. He is going to murder Tom when Hester begs him not to. Shrike notices her crying for someone and thinks she has finally met someone she loves and is no longer sad. This implies he won't have to turn her into a cyborg. A severely injured Shrike offers Pandora's jewelry to Hester and dies instantaneously. Hester, Tom, and the Anti-Traction League are on their way to the city of Shan Guo. They meet with Governor Quan of Shan Guo and inform him of Valentine's plot. Anna advises he assist in the launch of the anti-tractionist fleet on London since if they strike first, Shan Guo's chances of survival are reduced. Quan directs the guards to attack London before they attack them. Tom responds by claiming that innocent Londoners should not be penalized for Valentine's errors. Quan argues that if another option to defend his city existed, he would use it. Then, as Tom walks away, everyone begins to prepare for the war. When Hester notices that the necklace her mother gave her contains a crash disk, she and an anti-tractionist league member named Cynthia pray. She and Tom dash to Anna to inform her of the discovery. Valentine, however, launches the first attack against the shield wall, partially destroying it. It devastates the city of Shangguo. Because of the force caused by the explosion, people are being pushed around. Valentine orders the system to be recharged and the second strike to be launched immediately after the first strike. However, it will take some time to recharge. After receiving the crash drive, Anna and the other members of the Anti-Tractionist League, as well as Hester and Tom, board their various ships and fly to London. Between the two cities, there is intense air battle. Many members of the Anti-Tractionist League are killed in the conflict, but Anna, Tom, and Hester escape unscathed. Anna manages to hover the plane above London, and Hester enters, bringing the crash drive with her. She eventually makes Tom pilot the plane and flies herself to London. She assaults Valentine first in order to distract him and allow Hester to use the drive to bypass the system. Only 60 seconds remain till the missile is unleashed. But Hester manages to avert it in the final seconds. When Anna asks her to flee, Valentine looks over at Hester. He then kills Anna by pushing her off a platform. Valentine confronts his daughter Catherine outside and urges her to accompany him to a secure location. She dismisses him for killing everyone for power and retreats inside. Valentine has determined to drive the entire city of London into the shield wall in order to break it, putting both cities' lives in peril. Catherine attempts to apply the brakes, but the system has been tainted. She informs Tom about the situation through radio. Tom then requests that Catherine open the engine's gate. In his aircraft, he flies into the engine system and destroys the engines by shooting missiles in the hopes of preventing London from hitting with the wall. At the same moment, Valentine boards an airplane to take off and dodge the accident. Hester, on the other hand, confronts the man and points her revolver at him. They have an argument, and Hester recalls her mother's affair with Valentine. Valentine gains the upper hand since the concept distracts her. She eventually manages to release herself and cling onto Tom's plane. When she is secure, Tom fires a missile at Valentine's plane, killing him. London comes to a halt seconds before crashing into the wall, and all citizens rush outside. They walk to Shangguo, hoping to begin a new life. The film concludes with Tom and Hester hugging and promising to travel the world together. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.